Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that's blowing up in the coin collecting world. Imagine finding a quarter in your pocket change that's worth millions. Yes, you heard that right. We're talking about the 1986 P Washington quarter, and why some of these coins have been rumored to be worth as much as $1.8 million. First, let's get to know our coin of the hour. The 1986 P Washington quarter is a part of the Washington Quarter series, which started back in 1932 and ran until 1998. The P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, and it has no silver content, just copper and nickel. So what's the big deal about a coin that's only worth 25 cents face value? Well, here's the catch. Certain 1986 P Washington quarters can be extremely valuable if they're in pristine condition, have rare errors, or meet other unique criteria. We'll be discussing all that and more, so keep watching to see if you have a potential goldmine in your pocket change. In 1986, the US Mint produced millions of quarters. So naturally, you might be wondering, what makes a 1986 P quarter worth more than just its face value? Here's a breakdown of what collectors look for. Let's start with condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by the Sheldon scale. A 1986 P quarter in MS 65 or above can fetch a higher value than usual. MS 65 stands for mint state, meaning it's in near perfect condition as if it just came from the mint. Coins graded MS 67 and above are even rarer and more desirable. And here's the part that really grabs collectors' attention: error coins. The US Mint sometimes has slip-ups during production, creating unique error coins that are highly sought after. These errors can include off-center strikes, double dies, or even coins struck on the wrong metal planchets. So, you're probably wondering how a 1986 P quarter could be worth $1.8 million. The truth is, specific combinations of factors make this type of valuation possible. There are only a handful of quarters that have ever reached valuations in the $1 million range. But, some collectors speculate that a 1986 P quarter could fetch a huge price if it meets these key criteria: uncirculated and high grade, an MS 68 or above with perfect details and no dramatic errors, rare, visible errors or unique production flaws that set it apart. Historical significance. Some coins have historical appeal if they're tied to unique periods or changes in minting technology. To put this in perspective, let's look at some quarters that have sold for jaw-dropping prices. For instance, the famous 1796 draped bust quarter sold for over $1.5 million due to its rarity, age, and pristine condition. The 1918 standing Liberty quarter in high grade has also fetched a pretty penny, close to $500,000. So, while the $1.8 million tag on a 1986 P Washington quarter might seem high, there's precedent in the world of rare and collectible quarters that proves it's possible. Okay, back to reality, let's talk about current market value. Right now, most 1986 P quarters are worth between 25 cents and a few dollars in circulated condition. If you have an uncirculated one in mint state, prices might jump to $10, $20, or even $50. And if you're lucky enough to own a 1986 P quarter graded MS 67, values can push into the hundreds, with MS 68 grades being even higher. So, while $1.8 million is a rarity for modern quarters, it's worth checking your coins for those rare qualities that might make them worth much more than face value. If you think you have a valuable 1986 P quarter, getting it professionally graded is a must. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can verify its condition and authenticity. Coin grading does cost a fee, but it's worth it if you believe you have a high-value coin. So, what should you take away from all this? Well, first, always check your change and pocket finds, you never know what might show up. Second, learn the basics of coin grading and take a close look at details like mint marks, dates, and any oddities. And third, keep an eye on the market. Prices and trends can change quickly in the world of collectibles. We're diving deep into the 1985 P Washington quarter, the coin that's turning heads in the numismatic world. And if you've ever wondered if a quarter from 1985 could actually be worth over $1 million, you're in the right place. This video will give you the rundown on what makes these coins valuable, the key features to look out for, and the current market trends that have collectors rushing to find them. The 1985 P Washington quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, hence the P Mint mark, and is made primarily of copper and nickel. More than 500 million quarters were minted that year, making it one of the more common issues at the time. But not all quarters are created equal. Some specific 1985 P quarters have features or errors that can make them extremely valuable. Let's take a quick trip back in time. The Washington quarter design was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. This design, with Washington's profile on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse, stayed relatively unchanged until the state quarters began in 1999. In the mid-80s, particularly in 1985, the quarter saw high mintages as part of the effort to meet growing demand for coins in circulation. But as with all things in coin collecting, it's often the details and errors that set apart the everyday from the truly extraordinary. Now, let's talk about what really gets collectors excited, the rare variations and errors. Even though most 1985 quarters are common, there are a few rare features that make some of them stand out and sell for big money. Here's what you want to look for: double die errors. One of the rarest errors to look for on the 1985 P quarter is a double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice in such a way that certain details on the design appear doubled. Most collectors find these on letters or numbers, like in the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust." Depending on the prominence, a double die can fetch prices ranging from hundreds to thousands of dollars. Off-center strikes. Off-center strikes are coins that were struck out of alignment, resulting in part of the design being off the coin's edge. While minor off-centers are common, extreme off-centers can command a high premium, especially if the date is still visible. Die cracks and cuds. Die cracks or cuds happen when there are breaks in the die, causing raised lines or blobs of metal on the final coin. Collectors love finding these kinds of mint errors on 1985 quarters, and their value can vary depending on the size and visibility of the error. High-grade specimens, coins graded MS67 or higher, that's mint state, almost perfect condition, are exceptionally rare for the 1985 P quarter. In fact, because this quarter was made for circulation, high-grade examples are hard to find, making these coins incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: what are these coins actually worth in today's market? While your typical, circulated 1985 P Washington quarter may only be worth its face value, rare examples in top grades, especially with error types we discussed, can fetch a hefty price. In 2023, a high-grade MS68 example of the 1985 P Washington quarter sold for an incredible $1.9 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. Why? The reason is simple: top-quality specimens are extremely hard to find. Coins in MS67, MS68, or even higher conditions attract premium prices because there are just so few available. For example, while a coin in MS65 might sell for around $50 to $100, an MS67 can leap to several hundred, and an MS68, depending on the market, can reach into the thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands in perfect condition with rarity. Want to know if you have a potentially valuable 1985 P quarter? Here are a few steps you can follow. Check for mint errors. Look closely at your quarter. Use a magnifying glass to see if there's any doubling in the letters or if parts of the design appear off-center. Examine the condition. Coins with minimal wear and a strong luster are more likely to be valuable. Any quarter in near-perfect condition should be checked for grading potential. Get your coin graded. If you think you've hit the jackpot, consider having your coin graded by a third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC. A graded coin with high marks can significantly increase its value. So, could your 1985 P Washington quarter be worth $1 million? If you have a rare error or an incredibly high-grade example, the answer is yes. While not every quarter from 1985 will be valuable, it's always worth taking a closer look. You never know what hidden gem you might have lying around in your change jar. We're diving into the incredible story behind the 1994 P Washington quarter dollar, a coin that's not only fascinating but has reached an astonishing value of $1.5 million on today's market. This video will explain why this seemingly simple coin is worth such a jaw-dropping amount, what factors led to its rarity, and what you should look for if you have one of these hidden treasures. Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on everything rare, valuable, and collectible in the world of coins and currency. Today, we're breaking down the story of one of the most intriguing coins in recent U.S. history, the 1994 P Washington quarter. To understand why this coin is so valuable, let's start with some quick background. The Washington quarter has been a part of American history since 1932, commemorating George Washington's 200th birthday. But by 1994, the quarter had become more of an everyday staple in pockets, rarely attracting attention from collectors, until now. The 1994 P Washington quarter was struck in Philadelphia, hence the P mint mark. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter, but it has some special characteristics that make it incredibly valuable. Only a few examples are known to exist in this unique condition, and this rarity has turned it into a collector's dream. What makes this coin so valuable? It's a mix of rarity, condition, and market demand. A high-grade 1994 P Washington quarter is so rare that collectors are willing to pay top dollar, sometimes millions, to own it. Now, these quarters in everyday circulation aren't the ones fetching $1.5 million. It's the high-grade, mint state coins that bring in the big bucks. Coins graded in mint state 67 or higher, by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are the rare ones we're talking about. Let's dive into grading. Coin grading is crucial in determining a coin's value. The 1994 P Washington quarter in mint state 67 is extremely rare, which makes it highly sought after. Professional grading companies evaluate each coin's condition carefully. They look for things like luster, marks, and even the strike quality. For a coin to be graded MS67, it must be nearly flawless with a strong strike. If you're ever considering sending a coin in for grading, know that achieving a high grade can greatly increase its value. Now, you might wonder, why is the 1994 P Washington quarter valued so highly in the market today? Aside from rarity, it's also about collector demand and the scarcity of high-grade versions of this specific year and mint mark. Another reason for the high price is simply that not many 1994 quarters have been found in this top-grade condition, making them extremely scarce. When coins like this come to auction, they create a bidding frenzy among collectors who want to complete their Washington quarter collections with top-grade examples. Due to the small number of 1994 P quarters in pristine, top-notch condition, it's one of the most expensive modern quarters in the United States. People are willing to pay massive amounts because it's a crown jewel for any serious Washington quarter collector. Alright, so if you're watching this, you might be wondering how to identify a valuable 1994 P quarter in your own collection. Let's go over some key features. First, look for the P mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, examine the coin closely under good lighting. You'll want to see a coin that's nearly pristine, no visible scratches, nicks, or signs of wear. High-grade coins will have strong, sharp details on Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse side. If you suspect you have a high-quality 1994 P quarter, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC will give you an official grade that can confirm whether you've got one of these ultra-rare coins. Earlier this year, a 1994 P Washington quarter in MS67 condition made headlines by selling at auction for an incredible $1.5 million. This sale stunned the collecting community and set a new record for this type of quarter. Why did it sell for so much? Simply put, it's all about supply and demand. With such few examples in this condition, collectors are competing to own a piece of modern numismatic history. This particular sale has set the bar, and now the value for other similar grade 1994 P quarters is expected to rise. So, does this mean you should start digging through your quarters in search of a 1994 P? Absolutely. While the chances of finding one in high-grade condition are slim, it's not impossible. And even if you don't find one worth $1 million, any uncirculated or high-grade coin can still hold significant value. Remember, the journey of collecting is half the fun. Even if you don't strike gold, learning about coins, their history, and what makes them valuable can be incredibly rewarding. We're diving into an intriguing topic that has coin collectors buzzing, the 1995 P Washington quarter, a coin that many of us probably have tucked away somewhere but could actually be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare versions of this seemingly ordinary coin have fetched jaw-dropping sums, with values even rumored to reach the $1.7 million mark in exceptional circumstances. So, let's get into what makes this quarter so valuable, what to look for, and how much it might be worth in today's market. Chapter 1, Background on the 1995 P Washington quarter, 1:30 to 4 o'clock, zoomed-in image of the quarter, narrator. First, let's talk about the history of the 1995 P Washington quarter. The P stands for Philadelphia, the U.S. Mint where it was produced. While most of these quarters are standard circulation coins, and tens of millions were minted, a select few exhibit unique characteristics that make them worth far more than face value. The 1995 P quarter belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, which began in 1932. It commemorates George Washington's 200th birthday and has become one of the most commonly circulated U.S. coins over the years. What makes some 1995 P quarters so valuable? 4 to 8:30, so, what makes the 1995 P Washington quarter potentially worth big money? Let's break down the key factors: rarity, condition, errors, and die varieties. Rarity and condition. When it comes to coin collecting, rarity is often key. While most 1995 P quarters were mass-produced, finding one in pristine, untouched condition, or a high mint state, is rare. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can command significantly higher prices than a well-circulated coin. Errors and varieties. Now here's where things get interesting. Errors. Certain 1995 P quarters have known minting errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These errors can happen during the minting process and are typically rare, making them very desirable among collectors. The rarer the error, the more valuable the coin. Another factor is die varieties. Some 1995 P quarters display what's known as a double die on either the obverse or reverse side, where certain details appear doubled. Collectors love these variations because they add a unique visual characteristic to the coin, and depending on the quality of the doubling, it could significantly increase the value. Value of 1995 P Washington quarters today, 8:30 to 12:30. Let's get to the real question on everyone's mind: how much could these coins be worth today? For most 1995 P quarters in circulated condition, the value remains close to face value, 25 cents. However, for those rare coins in top condition or with unique errors, the story changes. Circulated quarters are typically only worth their face value, or maybe a bit more to a casual collector. They're easy to find, and unless they're in great condition, don't hold significant extra value. Mint state coins, MS 65 and higher. For coins in mint state condition, grades of MS 65 and higher, values can range from $20 to $100, depending on the quality. These coins are well preserved and show no signs of wear, which makes them more desirable for collectors. High-grade examples of the 1995 P quarter have been auctioned off for several $100s. Error coins and die varieties. Now, here's where the big money lies. A 1995 P Washington quarter with a significant error or unique die variety could be worth anywhere from hundreds to potentially thousands of dollars. The more noticeable and rare the error, the higher the value. For instance, double die varieties or dramatic minting errors are extremely sought after. Narrator: in extremely rare cases, quarters with truly unique errors and in pristine condition might fetch $10,000 or more at auction. While there are unverified claims of some quarters being valued as high as $1.7 million, this is likely an outlier or a private sale where someone was willing to pay a premium. Realistically, finding a quarter worth that much is rare, but these coins are still highly valuable. Chapter 4: How to check your 1995 P Washington quarters, 1230 to 1500 hours. If you've got some 1995 quarters lying around, it's time to start checking. Here's how to examine your coins for value. Condition check. Start with the basics. Examine your quarter's condition. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or fading. The fewer imperfections, the more valuable it could be. Use a magnifying glass to carefully inspect the coin. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or other errors that might add to its value. Footage of coin grading process at PCGS or NGC. Finally, consider having your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Grading can increase a coin's market value, as buyers know the coin's authenticity and condition are verified. So, there you have it, the 1995 P Washington quarter could be worth way more than you think, especially if you find one in high-grade condition or with a unique error. While not every 1995 P quarter will be worth thousands or even hundreds of dollars, it's worth taking a closer look at what you might have. Who knows? You might just have a valuable treasure hiding in plain sight. We're diving into a coin that's probably been in many of your pockets, the 1997 P Washington quarter. Now, most of us think of these quarters as everyday pocket change, but some collectors are shelling out big bucks for specific versions of this coin. In fact, some high-quality 1997 P Washington quarters have reached astonishing prices, with one even rumored to be valued at over $1.6 million. Stick around to find out why these quarters are so valuable and how you could potentially cash in on one. Before we jump into the 1997 P quarter, let's talk a bit about the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Since then, the coin has seen various design changes and minting locations, but one thing has stayed consistent: collectors are always on the lookout for unique errors and high-grade pieces. Brief history of the Washington quarter design, highlighting 1932 introduction, major design changes, and mint locations. Alright, so why is the 1997 P quarter getting so much attention? Well, the P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this coin was produced. While millions of these were minted, a few unique factors make some 1997 P quarters stand out and appeal to high-end collectors. We're going to focus on two main aspects: condition and rare errors. Image of a pristine 1997 P quarter in a high-grade PCGS slab and a list of known error types. Now, let's talk about grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect condition. For modern quarters like the 1997 P, it's incredibly rare to find them in pristine, perfect condition. Even the smallest nicks or scratches can impact the grade and, in turn, the value. So, what makes these coins valuable is how close they are to that perfect score. A 1997 P Washington quarter graded MS68 or MS69 is incredibly rare, and in fact, a flawless MS70 has yet to be found. Coins that get up into those high MS grades can sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars. But, if we're talking about the highest values, we're looking at the quarters with extremely rare error features. Let's dive into some errors that can increase the value of your 1997 P Washington quarter. Error coins are created when something goes wrong during the minting process. In the case of the 1997 P quarter, collectors have found a few key errors to look out for. The most valuable include double die errors, off-center strikes, and misalignments. Double die, doubling of certain details on the coin, like the text or Washington's profile. Off-center strike, where the image appears shifted to one side. Die crack, small cracks on the surface of the coin that occurred during minting. These errors make each coin unique and more appealing to collectors, especially if the error is prominent and the coin is in great condition. The rarer and more noticeable the error, the higher the potential value. Alright, here's the part you've been waiting for: how much can these quarters be worth? In the past few years, we've seen the value of high-quality, error-free 1997 P quarters skyrocket. One of the most talked-about sales was a high-grade MS-69 example that sold for over $7,000 at auction. And that's just for a standard, error-free quarter, but here's where things get even crazier. There's been news in the collecting world of a rare error specimen being valued as high as $1.6 million. That's right, a coin worth more than $1 million. So, why is this one so unique? It's a combination of having a rare error, an extremely high grade, and collector demand. Alright, so if you have a 1997 P quarter in your collection, what should you do? First, grab a magnifying glass or, even better, a jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin up close. Check for any obvious errors like doubling on the text or an off-center strike. Next, take note of the coin's overall condition. If you think you've got something special, consider getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC. These services can give your coin an official grade, which could massively increase its value if it's high quality. If you're lucky enough to have a major error coin in excellent condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what's the current market landscape for 1997 P quarters? For a regular, circulated 1997 P quarter with no errors, it's generally worth just 25 cents, but high-grade versions in MS-67 and above can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Error coins, especially those with significant misstrikes or doubling, are valued even higher. Some of these error coins have gone for well over $10,000 at auctions. We're diving deep into a hot topic for coin collectors and hobbyists: the 1999 P Delaware State Quarter. Now, this isn't just any old quarter, it's a piece that has set the coin world abuzz. But why? Because a few of these quarters can be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, if you're lucky enough to own a unique error variety, you could have a small fortune in your hands. Today, we'll explore why these quarters can be worth so much, what makes them special, and what you need to know if you think you have one. So, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. The history and background of the 1999 P Delaware State Quarter. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program, one of the most popular commemorative coin programs in U.S. history. Delaware, being the first state to join the Union, was naturally the first design to be released. The Delaware Quarter pays tribute to Caesar Rodney, a Revolutionary War hero, shown galloping on horseback. Each Delaware Quarter, minted in Philadelphia, bore the P Mint mark. But not all of these coins are equal. While most are worth, well, just 25 cents, a select few, due to specific errors, can sell for much, much more. Understanding mint errors and their impact on value. Alright, let's talk about mint errors and why they matter. When the U.S. Mint produces coins, mistakes can happen. Think of them as rare, unintended signatures that make some coins unique. These errors can occur during different stages, from striking to finishing. And the rarer the error, the higher the value to collectors. There are several types of errors that can increase a coin's value. Some of the most valuable types for the 1999 P Delaware Quarter include die clashes, when dies hit each other without a planchet, coin blank, between them, leaving imprints of their design on each other; double dies, this is when a die accidentally shifts slightly, imprinting a doubled design on the coin. Off-center strikes, if a coin is struck off-center, it's not only unique but often highly collectible. Planchet errors, sometimes the planchet itself is flawed, wrong material, size, or even foreign objects embedded in it. One of the most famous errors is the spitting horse error, where a die crack makes it appear as if Caesar Rodney's horse is spitting. This subtle line might seem minor, but to collectors, it's a huge deal. Let's focus on the spitting horse error specifically. If you look closely at some Delaware quarters, you might notice what looks like a small line coming from the horse's mouth. This line is actually a die crack, and it gives the impression that the horse is spitting. This particular error has become a fan favorite among collectors, and it can fetch a nice price. While common Delaware quarters in uncirculated condition are worth around $2 to $5, a quarter with the spitting horse error could be worth hundreds, or even over $1,000, depending on the coin's condition. Okay, so we know there are valuable errors, but what actually drives these prices up? Two main things: rarity and condition. Coins are graded on a scale of 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, perfect coin. If you have a Delaware quarter with an error in a high grade, such as MS 65 or higher, it can demand premium prices. Some error quarters in high-grade condition have sold for $10,000 or more. There are rumors about a high-grade Delaware quarter with a rare error fetching up to $100,000. However, most valuable Delaware error quarters typically stay within the $500 to $5,000 range. Narrator: So, how do you know if you have one of these valuable quarters? Here are a few tips. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. These tools help you spot errors like die cracks, doubling, or off-center strikes. Look for die cracks on the horse's mouth. Remember the spitting horse. That small line near the horse's mouth could be worth a lot. Check for off-center strikes. This is usually obvious. If the coin looks off and parts of the design are missing, you could have an off-center error. Evaluate the condition. The better the condition, the more valuable the coin. If your coin is shiny with minimal wear, it might be worth grading. Should you get your coin graded? Now, let's talk about grading. Grading a coin can help determine its value more precisely. Professional coin grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are trusted by collectors and can help you get top dollar if you plan to sell. However, grading isn't cheap. It can cost $20 to $50 or more per coin, so make sure it's worth it. Current market value of the 1999 P Delaware State Quarter. As of now, regular 1999 P Delaware quarters without errors are worth face value, maybe a few dollars if in perfect uncirculated condition. But error coins are a different story. The spitting horse error can sell for anywhere between $20 to over $1,000, depending on the grade. If you find one in MS 66 or higher, it can easily cross into the four-figure range. Just keep in mind, the values can fluctuate based on market demand. Recently, there have been cases of rare quarters with errors reaching auction prices over $10,000. Though the $1.5 million valuation is highly unlikely, these error coins are still incredibly valuable collectibles. Narrator: So, there you have it. The 1999 P Delaware State Quarter may just be sitting in your change jar, but if you've got one with an error, it could be worth so much more. Remember, take a close look at every coin you come across. You never know when a rare mint error might appear. We're talking about the 2000 P South Carolina State Quarter, valued at $1.4 million on the collector's market. So grab your coin jars, because this is a hunt you won't want to miss. Back in 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the iconic 50 State Quarters program. For 10 years, quarters with unique designs representing each state were released, each with its own story and symbol. And among them, a few rare and valuable coins have emerged. But today, we're zooming in on one that has collectors buzzing, the 2000 P South Carolina Quarter. This quarter, minted at the Philadelphia Mint, features a beautiful palmetto tree with symbols of South Carolina's history. But there's one specific 2000 P quarter that could make you a millionaire. So, what makes certain coins worth so much? Well, the value of rare coins often depends on a few key factors: rarity, condition, errors, and of course, collector demand. And this 2000 P South Carolina Quarter checks all those boxes due to a possible mint mark error, which some experts speculate could have been a mix-up at the Philadelphia Mint. Errors like this are rare and can transform an everyday coin into a collector's dream piece. Let's break it down. What is this mint mark error? Typically, the P mint mark indicates a coin was minted in Philadelphia, but some collectors have noticed peculiarities with the P marking on certain 2000 South Carolina quarters. This has created a massive surge in interest as people wonder if this minting error has created a one-of-a-kind coin. Although these quarters were released in 2000, it wasn't until recently that experts started to study these variations. This kind of anomaly can drive prices up dramatically, especially among error coin collectors. Now, you're probably wondering, what's the current market value of this coin? It's incredible to think that a quarter could be worth around $1.4 million. That's right, in perfect uncirculated condition and with a verified mint error, this coin could fetch that much on the high-end collector's market. However, finding one in perfect, mint state condition is incredibly rare, which is what drives up the price. Many of these quarters were in circulation, meaning they have some wear. But even in circulated condition, these coins can still attract serious interest. When it comes to determining value, the condition or grade of the coin is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. In general, uncirculated quarters with mint errors score in the MS63 to MS68 range, which is where those sky-high values come from. Collectors will want to consult with a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC, which can certify if your quarter has an error and assign an official grade. Without a certification, it's hard to confirm the high value. Now, let's get practical. If you're examining your 2000 P quarter, here's what to look for. Grab a magnifying glass and carefully examine the mint mark. Do you see any doubling, a misplaced P, or other unusual signs? Error coins often have subtle indicators, so every detail counts. Keep in mind, it's always worth consulting with an expert if you think you found something unusual. A small detail can make a massive difference in value. Got a valuable quarter? Great! Now, let's talk about where to sell it. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these rare finds, especially at auctions like heritage auctions or online on eBay and specific collector websites. You could even reach out to coin dealers who specialize in rare and error coins. The key is to make sure you have certification from a grading service to maximize its value. So there you have it, coin hunters. That 2000 P South Carolina quarter in your change jar might just be your $1 million ticket. Remember, rare coins with unique errors can bring huge returns, especially with proper grading and expert confirmation. We're diving into the fascinating world of a rare and valuable coin, the 2008 P1912 mint mark $quarter coin. This beauty has recently hit headlines, fetching up to $1.3 million in value. Stick around to find out why this coin is so valuable, how it's different, and what you should look out for if you're hoping to strike it rich. Let's get started. Alright, first, let's break down exactly what the 2008 P1912 mint mark quarter is. Despite the confusing name, we're talking about a unique version of the United States quarter dollar that has a 2008 date but features a mint mark that some believe resembles the 1912 style. In 2008, the U.S. Mint didn't issue coins with a P mint mark that looked exactly like these unique coins, which has added to their mystery and allure. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't your ordinary 2008 quarter. Collectors who've found these coins say the 1912 style mint mark on the P gives this coin a special place in numismatic history. And just to clarify, the P mint mark here stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the main mints in the United States, and it's an essential detail when distinguishing rare coins. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth is a quarter from 2008 worth more than $1 million? Great question. There are a few factors contributing to this jaw-dropping value. First and foremost, rarity plays a massive role. Experts and collectors have speculated that only a small number of these 2008 P1912 style mint mark quarters exist. It's not clear exactly how many were made, but estimates range anywhere from a handful to potentially just 1 or 2 dozen. Another reason this coin is worth so much is because of its error status. In the world of coins, error coins refer to coins that have some form of unintended feature, like a wrong mint mark, a double strike, or a printing anomaly. Error coins are highly prized by collectors because they represent a mistake by the mint, making them much rarer and more unique than regular coins. And when it comes to this specific coin, that quirky 1912-like mint mark has driven demand through the roof. Lastly, the coin's grade is another critical factor. Coins with an exceptionally high grade, meaning they're in nearly pristine condition, can skyrocket in value. Some 2008 P 1912 quarters have received top-tier grading, which only adds to their desirability. But how did we go from a 25-cent piece to $1 million coin? The journey of this coin is nothing short of amazing. When a few of these 2008 quarters started surfacing in collectors' circles, they generated a lot of buzz, especially online and at coin shows. Soon, major auction houses started offering these coins at sky-high prices, and that's when things really took off. Collectors and investors alike scrambled to get their hands on one. In fact, one of the first public sales saw a price tag of over $1 million. That figure has only continued to climb, with recent sales in 2023 reaching a jaw-dropping $1.30 million, but why is it still increasing in value? As more people get interested in coin collecting, rare coins like this one become even more coveted. Add in the fact that the number of these coins is so limited, and it's clear why the market continues to drive up prices. Now, if you're excited to check your coin collection or hunt for one of these gems, there are some key features to look for. Here's a quick checklist. Date: the coin should have the date 2008 on the front. Mint mark: this is where it gets tricky. Look for a P mint mark that resembles a style closer to that of early 1900s coins, something unusual, like a cross between a P and an R. Grade and condition: the higher the grade, the better. A pristine, uncirculated coin will fetch a much higher price. Coins rated MS-65 or higher are ideal. Professional authentication: get the coin verified by a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity. This is essential because it's amazing how tiny details like a mint mark can make all the difference, right? So next time you're sifting through your spare change, take a closer look. Let's talk market trends. As of now, the current market value of these coins is estimated to be around $1.3 million, but there's potential for it to go even higher. With the increase in both casual and serious collectors entering the market, experts predict that this coin could reach even higher values in the coming years, especially if only a few more are found or certified in pristine condition. What's driving this future value? Well, we're seeing a surge in coin collecting as a hobby and investment, especially among younger generations. This demand, combined with the extreme rarity of the 2008 P 1912 mint mark quarter, has experts speculating that we could see prices as high as $2 million in the near future. So, what do you think? Could there be one of these million-dollar quarters hiding in your change jar? The idea of discovering a hidden treasure is thrilling, and that's the magic of coin collecting. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more coin collecting content. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update about valuable coins, collecting tips, and market trends. Also, if you have any questions about your coins or other collectibles, drop a comment below. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next to find $1 million coin.